There are two different ways in order to navigate in the 3D space. The first way is to use on the top right corner, right here, in the side of the 3D viewport, we have the blue Z, the green Y, and the red X. So if we just hover over this, left click and drag, we can rotate our 3D scene. Now, if we want to pan from the left to the right, we have the hand icon. By clicking on it, and I'm still holding down the left button on the mouse, I'm just dragging my mouse. So now we can pan where we want to be. So let's just rotate this around, and then I can pan it. To zoom in and out, we have the little zoom icon right here. If I click on it, and while I'm still holding down the left button on my mouse, if I move my mouse up, it'll zoom in. If I move my mouse down, it'll zoom out. In and out. Now, another cool thing about this is there's different views we can see in Blender. So there's two different ways to do it through the navigation. The first way is on the very top left over here. If we click on View, we can do Viewpoint, and then we have the camera. So I'll do that again. View, Viewpoint, Camera. So this is how we can actually see it inside of Blender. And if you see here, it'll actually tell you the keyboard shortcuts. So if I click numpad 0, so real quick, I'm going to show you the numpad. And for Blender, part of the keyboard shortcuts is to have a keyboard with a numpad. So if you don't have one, I would suggest investing one. So if I click on the numpad, let's do View, Cameras, Viewpoint. Let's do Top. So now we're seeing it from the top view. And by clicking 2, I can increment the rotation-wise. You click 8, it's the other way. So all I'm doing is on the numpad, I'm clicking 2 to go this way, clicking 8 to go this way, clicking 4 to go this way, clicking 6 to go this way. And to go to a very specific view, if I click 5, now I'm in orthographic view. So if I click 5 again, I'm in perspective. Now, the actual icon for this is over here. So it'll switch from perspective to orthographic. So orthographic is 2D view. And this is really helpful if you need to position your view so you can only see in the X or Y direction or in a specific axis. So by clicking on this, I can snap it. And we can see it just like flattens everything out. It converts it into 2D. And we only have the X and Y axis. So clicking again, it goes back. So if I click 7 on the numpad, we are in the top view. And if I click 8, we're on the bottom view. Click 1, we're on the left view. Click 3, we're on the right view. Now, if you notice here, we have the Z, X, and Y. These are flipping around while I'm going through them. Now, if you don't have a numpad, another way you can do it is by clicking these. So if I click Z, it goes to top view, click Z again, I'm on bottom view, click Y, I'm on left side, click Y again, I'm on the other side, click X on this side, click X again, I'm on the other side. And then I could just drag this out to just move it around. So again, with the numpad, we can go to different views, right? Different perspectives of the scene. And this is really useful if you just need to jump around. And if I click 0 on the numpad, I'm in camera view. If I click 0 again, I'm out of camera view. And this thing over here is the camera, in case if you're wondering. Cool. So that is the numpad, and that's the different views. Now, there's also another way in order to navigate in the 3D space. And that other way is to use your mouse. So if you have a 3-button mouse, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the scroll wheel. So when I say 3 buttons, Most mouses have a scroll wheel, and it also acts as a button. So if you click on it and drag it, you'll be able to rotate in 3D space. And you can see over here the Z, Y, X, that's rotating as well. So it does the exact same thing. Cool. Now, if we want to pan, what we can do is we can click Shift, click on the third button mouse or the scroll wheel, and we can pan this way. So again, I'm holding down Shift, clicking on the middle wheel, and I can do it this way. And of course, if you have a scroll wheel, you could just zoom in and zoom out. So that is with a 3-button mouse. Now, what you can also do is a trackpad. And that might be for some things might be easier. For example, just to rotate around the scene is to use 2 fingers. So using 2 fingers, if I just touch the trackpad and just move around my scene, there you go. I can just kind of move around and rotate. To pan using a trackpad, you're going to hold down the Shift button using 2 fingers, not pressing on the trackpad. You're just going to hover over it and you can just move it. You can just pan it. Now, another thing you can do, now this isn't for navigation, this is just for the 3D cursor, is if you have a trackpad, you can hold down the Shift button. Using 2 fingers, you're going to click, and that's going to act as a right click. So if you didn't know, 1 finger is left click, 2 fingers is right click. So you're going to right click, and we can move the 3D cursor. So that's just a little tip. So again, if you have a trackpad, using 2 fingers, you can rotate. Holding down Shift and using 2 fingers, you can pan. If you have a 3-button mouse, if you click on the scroll wheel, you can rotate like this. If you hold down Shift while scroll wheel, you can pan. And of course, you can zoom out with the mouse and with your trackpad. Depending on what type of trackpad you have, you can zoom in and out by pinching.